Welcome back to the show. I learn new things on this show all the time. Here I thought, that Signatures was exclusive to us here in Ottawa, but it's not. It's actually right across the country, and here to tell us more about it, in particular, of course, the Signatures event that's coming up here in Ottawa. I'm joined by Samantha Morrison, the social media manager at Signatures. Welcome. Great to have you here, Samantha. Yeah, maybe expand upon that, because I really thought it was a brand of, just here in Ottawa, but you and I, speaking off camera just a moment ago, you were saying, no, they have events right across the entire country. How many... Maybe you don't know the number because it's probably a big one, but how many events do they put on across the country?
We have a lot of events. It changes kind of based on fall and spring, so like per year it kind of changes, and with the pandemic it has changed a little, but we do shows. We have the ones in Ottawa, we have them all over Alberta, we have a couple in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, so we're kind of really all over the place at this point.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Well, what a great success story, right? A great Canadian success story. You mentioned the pandemic. Let's talk about that challenge. What has that been like, not only, of course, for Signatures, but for the artisans that come to all of your fabulous shows?
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a struggle for a lot of people, I think, because a lot of these shows had to have really big capacity limits, or we were completely shut down for a year. And a lot of our artisans, that's where they make their living, is at these shows. That's where you meet customers. That's where you sell a lot of product. So it was a bit of a difficult year, but hopefully we're on the way back out of it. It seems that way. Yeah,
for sure. Let's talk about the process. What's the criteria for an artisan to get involved with Signatures in some of their events?
So all of our artisans, all their products have to be made by them or oversaw by them, and it has to be made in Canada. And then all of our shows are juried and curated for quality and also for diversity. So you're going to have a variety of products. You're not going to show up and see 3 of the same thing.
Right.
So you're going to have a whole bunch of different products and a huge variety, and they're all going to be of the highest quality and made in Canada.
So give us some examples. What are some examples of the types of handmade products we'll see at the show?
You can really find almost anything for anybody. There'll be clothing for all ages, kids' toys. We've had pet products, a lot of ceramics, jewelry is very popular. We have bath kind of body skincare stuff, and then of course the gourmet food. So there's really, no matter what you're looking for, it's kind of, you can find it, and you can support a small artisan that way.
Samantha, how do you choose artisans? Do they come to you? Do you seek out them? What's the process like?
There is a bit of an application. There's an application process, but we will also try to kind of find new people at different kind of events and see new people, so that we do kind of get a turnover, not a turnover, but you want to get new, fresh ideas and people in there as well.
Yeah, of course. And I guess one of the best parts of these events really is meeting the people that are making it, right? So is that part of the criteria as well? If you make the product, you have to show up, and and it gives people that are coming an opportunity to speak directly to each artisan.
Yeah, I think that's one of kind of the special parts about our shows, is that you do go and yes, you're shopping, but you're also getting to kind of talk directly to the person that made your item, and you get to hear the story behind it and kind of the process, and it is kind of like a unique experience in that way, to be able to talk to that many people about all their different products, and it's really a more personal experience, and then you kind of see the person that made whatever you're buying. Yeah,
it's pretty cool for sure. What about your role? Tell me a little bit about your role as social media manager.
So I'm in charge. I'm promoting all of our shows across social. I'll travel to a bunch of the shows, and they're taking pictures. So if you're there on the weekend, you'll see me there with my camera taking pictures, getting ready, and just trying to kind of promote our show, promote our artisans, get the work out there, and kind of capture new audiences and stuff.
Yeah, what do you think that means for the artisans? Because it's one thing to be a maker and a handmade artisan, but the business side often is difficult, right? I talk to many artists, whether it's a musician or whether you're making handmade goods, but there's the business side, and social media, I imagine, is a big part of that now.
Yeah, I think I'm a little biased in that I work in social media, but I think there's a bit of two sides to it, where on social media there is that opportunity to capture new people. A lot of these artisans you're showing locally, but with social media you're able to kind of reach a greater audience, and I think that can be really important. And that's why even with our shows, we have that as well. You're able to reach a greater audience. We have people traveling in, like especially Ottawa will have a lot of people coming in from Quebec or from Greater Ontario, and then it's trying to just like increase your brand awareness and reach new people that you might not have seen your things before.
Do you find yourself sometimes becoming a bit of a coach, right? Because sometimes artisans, you know, they work by themselves. They're oftentimes isolated because they're working on things.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself, you know, when you show up, sort of coaching them a little bit in social media?
I don't know about coaching. I do try to, because of our account reaches different provinces. So because we are all across Canada, when it's time to come with the shows, I'm trying to promote our artisans as well. So like hopefully they can reach a greater audience as well through us. Yeah.
I'm going to mention this word that's going to freak everyone out, but listen, I know Halloween hasn't gone by yet. I understand where you're coming from. Remembrance Day hasn't gone by. However, the holiday season, the Christmas season, this is really an opportunity, right, to kind of beat the rush so that we're, as we get closer to the holidays, we're not trying to, scramble and find gifts. You find a lot of people come out for that reason?
Yeah, exactly. You can get kind of a head start, I will say, since it's October, on your Christmas shopping. But it's also, it's a place you can get more unique gifts. It's not going to be something that's in every single department store. It's going to be a lot of these gifts and products you're going to be able to only find at kind of our shows or at smaller or from the artisan directly. So
and you're going to be at a beautiful heritage building down at Lansdowne, I think, which is fitting, right, for this type of show. Samantha, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time today joining us. Let me go over that again. The Signatures Handmade Market. It is happening October 20th to 23rd. And I should mention, by the way, if you go on day one and get your ticket, and of course you can get your ticket online as well, you're good for all 4 days of shopping. So you can spread it out completely. Again, that's at the Aberdeen Pavilion down at Lansdowne Park, October 20th to the 23rd. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Daytime Ottawa right after this.